Peace to the family. What's going on? What's going on? It's your brother Priest Daniela, Lions of Israel, Maccabees Alliance Council. Let's get it. Come on in as y'all coming in. Make sure you hit the like button. Let's go.
Natiana, I got you. How music, Fidelia Ben Natsar. Got Daniela, he's from Mike McGunn and his brother. But when you're sat, the Lions of Israel's in the building. It's LOI. Added again, so tell a friend, you say my locked in the four man. AGM, House of Dangerous Men, they Coliseum, pretend it's where the gladiator fights end. You're all welcome to the line. You're all welcome to the line. The Coliseum, no place to pretend it's where gladiator fights end. You're all welcome to the line. You say my locked in the four man. AGM, House of Dangerous Men, they Coliseum, no place to pretend it's where the gladiator fights end. You're all welcome to the line. You're all welcome to the line. The Coliseum, no place to pretend it's where gladiator fights end. You're all welcome to the line.
Peace and blessings to the family. Shalom to the family. Welcome to another edition of Maccabees TV. It's your brother, Priest Daniela, Lions of Israel, Maccabees Alliance Council. We have a good show for you, brothers and sisters, today. We have a good conversation that we're going to have today. The conversation is going to be quick and to the point, but it's going to be a very good conversation, a very interesting conversation, a very unique conversation that we have never had in the Israelite community as far as my memory serves me. As you brothers and sisters can see on my screen, I have none other than my brother Nasi Yashuv-EL. Okay. My brother that, y'all brothers and sisters already know this brother, man. He goes back. He needs no introduction. But for those of y'all that are not familiar with him, I'm going to give y'all a brief introduction. This is my brother Nasi. If you're not familiar with brother Nasi, let me give y'all a quick rundown of my brother Nasi. My brother Nasi is the son of a very prominent and respectable elder in this community, Prince Zippor of Shema Yisrael in Brooklyn. Okay, that's his son right there. And brother Nasi is the overseer and one of the spiritual leader of Shamrei HaTorah. That's located in Georgia. That's my brother right there, Nasi Yashuv-EL, in case you've been under a rock. One of his other great accomplishments, which he doesn't like to talk about, but I love it. This is the man that put Sarah Suit and Seti in retirement. You know what I'm saying? He put him in the old folks' home in the wheelchair, sitting on the daggone pina colada. No more debates. This brother did that right here. And probably his most notable and least spoken about accomplishment is that brother Nasi lives on the Goshen land in Georgia, which we're going to talk about today. So without further ado, I want to bring in my brother Nasi Yashuv-EL. Before I bring him in, brothers and sisters, do me a solid, man. If you're watching this video, number one, hit the like and show support to Israelite media. We show support to all the haters of God, but now we have our own platform. Let us support our own platform. Hit the like button. Then after you hit the like button, take the link at the top of the screen, hit the share button, and go put this on all your social media. Put it on YouTube, put it on Instagram, put it on Facebook, put it everywhere. Brothers and sisters, our brother Nasi Yashuv-El is running for mayor of Sparta, Georgia. This is a unique situation in the Israelite community. Without further ado, brother Nasi, unmute yourself and talk to the people.
Shalom, man. Appreciate you. Peace. Me and Peace go back. You know, we went through a lot of war with the community. Other communities defending the name of God. We had a tight knit unit. And I'll think that I think we're going to come back and take the force that we had before and the momentum that we had before, like it never been seen before. Like you said, I'm Nasi Yashuv-El. The leader of Shomer HaTorah and part of the Goshen Project, along with Nasi Rav, financial backing behind the Goshen leader. We have something very unique here. A lot of times people are discussing debates of who's going to talk about this, who's going to talk about that, and the community is searching for something different. I'm searching for something that our people can look for. What we have done in the Goshen community, which is 140 acres in our county. We started building a community, and we have here right being established. We have off the grid living. We have people moving in, people coming, people staying, people going. I want to live this, and but into the community has drawn so much attention. We have in the city of Sparta alone have almost 400,000 out of what we building. This is not collected donations for. This is something that we've done off our own finances. We wanted to show the people that we can build, asking people for handouts. We don't want handouts on this project. We just want to build because we want to show the people that, hey, we can build a community and we don't have to trick people, because a lot of people have been through stuff with the different groups, and some groups funded them out of their money, told them that things never happened. So we're taking a different approach. Project is in Hancock County, which is in Sparta, Georgia. We have a lot of houses in Georgia. So we have a Sparta. We are living in the city of Sparta. All established 2 buildings. We also have a barbershop. Barbershop that we opening up is going to act as a flea market and a barbershop to bring in jobs to the community. We have been here, paying people, from $100 on some of the. So the people in the community have, by the hands of people, Israelites. So in December 2017, for our impact on the city and how much influence our drums and our celebration and our praise city, and the city really loved it. They enjoyed it. So now here we come to doing certain things that are groundbreaking.
All right, brother Nasi. The people are saying you're breaking up a little bit. Were you brothers and sisters able to hear what Nasi was saying? You said he's breaking up. Meek, I see you say he's breaking up a little bit. Leonard De Yehuda and Organic Cocoa Bean, are y'all able to hear the brother Nasi? They want me to repeat it a little bit, so I'm gonna go ahead and repeat it. And Nasi, you can help me out, right? So the brother Nasi, along with what's the brother's name? That's what you said is the financial brother. Right, right. Nasi Rav, right? These brothers have they're down and they're part of they have land down in Sparta, Georgia, and the land is called Goshen. And it's a place where any Israelite can go down and you can live on the land and live off the land. You can grow your own food. You can actually live on the land. You can build a house on the land, etc. And this land is in Sparta, Georgia. In addition to having the land of Goshen, they also have a temp agency in Sparta, Georgia, where they're actually an Israelite group that is providing jobs in the community of Sparta. as well as they own a barbershop in the city of Sparta. So they're offering jobs as far as that's concerned, as well as offering, of course, the service of cutting hair to the community, so forth and so on. So these brothers are doing very progressive work in the city of Sparta, Georgia. Did I leave anything out, Nasi?
Now you're good.
Right. So the brother Nasi is doing this down in Sparta, Georgia. Now, I want to continue to ask brother Nasi a few questions really quickly. And you brothers and sisters, I apologize. I wasn't really watching the comment board, so I'll make sure I watch it now to make sure y'all can hear the brother Nasi. So Nasi, I'm aware of what you brothers are doing down in Sparta, Georgia, as well as in Georgia in general. I understand there's a lot of Israelite farms down there. There's a lot of things, progressive things going on that's outside the scope of the conscious community that nobody's talking about. The mainstream platforms are not talking about this. So why do you think it is that nobody's talking about these great things that you brothers and sisters are doing down in Sparta, Georgia, etc.? Like, why is there no coverage of these things going on? Why do you think that is?
All right, because it's the same reason that Jerry, Inspector Gadget never found the mask or claw. You know, because sometimes when you have solutions to a problem, you can't complain about the problem. And so when we started finding solutions to the problems, the conscious community makes money off of complaining and what he's not doing, what he's doing to us, and how we suffer. Start making movements towards not suffering and struggling. Then there's people that's kind of objective to it, becoming struggling in order to continue what they're pushing. And progressive movements always should be times. A lot of people don't get the publicity. Look at Moses. Look at according to even into the New Testament, Yahweh shot publicity until they died. And that's part of the way of our culture. You look at Moses. He wasn't. MLK wasn't. He had 60% of people of the black people that liked him. Almost at 50%. Malcolm X was at a lower percentage of the black people that support him, but most people didn't even reach their peak. They didn't even reach their peak until they died. And so now this movement, you learn about Black Wall Street. We're talking about Black Wall Street when it was popping. No, we found out about Black Wall Street later. And this is some of the things that we have to understand. That most people don't want to put they don't want to put their support to an answer or a cure, because many people like being victims. They like complaining. They like arguing about what's going on in their life, and they never want to find a solution, because if they find a solution, that means they have to change. And psychologically able to change because so their habitual patterns that their subconscious body, and their body repeats the pattern over again, and their past becomes their future. And so this is real life. Our past will be in our future because we are in the same patterns. And once you're locked in the same patterns, you can talk about black rights, black liberations, but once you're doing the same thing, we're going through the same job, putting money in the same bus and then the train, or paying for the same gas, then we're locked into the a perpetual slavery that we tend to complain about. And there's ways to think outside the box that can actually deliver us, like you were talking about, whatever. Even though we may be trapped on or on a land that may be taxed by a certain county, but there's certain ways where we slowly enter generation, and that will allow the Most High to meet us somewhere.
Excellent. All praises, all praises. All right. So I'm going to share my screen real quick, and I'm going to move right into the next question, right? So brothers and sisters, in case you're just coming on to the live stream, I'm going to share my screen right now. This is our brother Nasi Yashuv-EL. We know him very well in the community. If you've been around for a certain amount of time, you know who he is. Our brother Nasi Yashuv-EL is running for the mayor of Sparta, Georgia. That's very new, and that's very revolutionary. That's very unique in the Israelite community. Now, I want to share something else really quickly before we get into the question and answer period. So I did a little research on Sparta, Georgia. And Nasi, you can correct me if I'm wrong. So I went to Google and I looked up Sparta. Sparta currently, according to Google, this is from the U.S. Census of 2011, has a population of 1,373 people. And of course, it's now almost 2020, so I'm sure it's more people than that. But that was the census as of 2011. And the racial demographic of Sparta, as I'm looking here, the racial demographic of Sparta is made up of the white population is 4.5%. The so-called African-American population, which we believe that we're Israelites, is 95.7%. So We, as of 2010, we were 95, almost 96% of the population in Sparta, Georgia. So, Brother Nasi, if you can give me a brief history of Sparta, Georgia, let the people know a little bit about Sparta, Georgia, because most people know about Atlanta and the big cities, but they don't know much about a place like Sparta. What can you tell us about Sparta?
All right. So initially, we used to hold a camping trip every year. You remember I used to always invite you. You never came, but we talk about that later. But nah. But that camping trip we used to throw was like 20 miles. So we was already preparing ourselves to start to move out the city for 10 years. This is a process that we were going on for about 10 or 11 years. So in that process, we finally found a place that we found good land, and we ended up purchasing land in Devereaux. But before we could move out here, we had to find homes in the city. So we bought homes in the city before we even start building on the land. And so now, when we came into Sparta, we realized that this was a predominant community, and we realized that one of the communities that we purchased land in was called Devereaux Community, and Devereaux was a community that was owned by the slaves. The slaves, where one of the masters slept with one of their significant others, and gave as an inheritance the inheritance of the plantation. So this kind of threw the community a hand. So when you start doing the research in Sparta, we was in Sparta. We start building up Sparta, right? Lessons out there building with the community. The other brother was building, and they would say somebody called John McCown. Now, John McCown is not really spoke about in the history books. But John McCown was somebody that was a civil rights activist that came down here in the early 1970s, and he brought $5 million with him. And he took everybody in the community that was servants to white people, and he put them in businesses that he 200 homes for the people to live in. And he taught the people about Black liberation, and he spoke about, hey, we're no longer servants to you. We will work with you, but we won't work for you. And he was very powerful when he was speaking. The brother was a dynamic, a very one. So when you get a chance, look up John McCown, MWN. It's a video on YouTube. It's about 23 minutes. And the people in Sparta, the white, pissed off about it. Integration and what you call this. And once they started integration in Hancock Central with the black people came to school. The white people moved all their children and opened up a John school, and they put it was called a segregation school. So a lot of people when segregation ended, segregation school. So this is why you start to see communities where even in New York, when you go to school, there's no white people in your school, because all the white people withdrew their people out of school, and they started charter school where most black people, so it was only white people. To this day, the school is still out there except black people because they were full and couldn't afford to stay open. So now they help pay the tuition to keep them open. Typical is similar to the Jews in Israel now that they were in office to secular people. They were calling the black Jews to be a part and vote so they can keep Israel a holy state. So now white people have no need for you until they have a need for you, if you don't understand what I'm saying. So now in Sparta, we started to realize we had the first black probate judge, Judge Edith Ingram. We had the first court clerk. We had all of this in Sparta, and a lot of black history. The first black people in office started in Sparta. Sparta is one of the greatest cities of the Native Americans. So when we go back into the history, so last year we had an election, and we have a mayor who's a black mayor. The incumbent mayor now is a black mayor. He's been there for only 27. But last year he actually lost the election, and there's two reasons he lost the election. His hands are tied. They have much power in the city because it all goes to, once they found that they were going to have a black mayor, they changed some of the rules so the white people could still have power. So it's a black dominated city, but the white people still have power. Conflict on cards now. So now one of the councilmen, he ran for office, and the NAACP had to come 100 off the ballot, and you margin. That's almost 20% of the vote. So now 187 votes were taken off, which caused the incumbent mayor, William Evans, to lose. And now so you have this Alan Hayes won, but the Mayor Evans, with his history, and found out he had a felony for stealing almost $70,000 in Alabama. So that made him to be kicked. And so now the incumbent mayor was put back. And when that happened, there was a lot of things happening. The NAACP had to come down. It was a real touchy situation because inside of Georgia, the counties around it and the cities around it are trying to root for the Europeans to get back control of their nigga town, so to speak. And now you have the mayor who's running, but he's not running at full speed. He's almost tired. So we was asked by the city, we were called to a meeting. They asked us to run for city council. We ran for city council. They called us back to another meeting and asked, would one of us like to run for mayor? I looked at Prince Rob and I said, Prince Rob didn't want to do it. I said, I'll take it. I'll do it. So I ended up running a campaign committee that's big and huge. We had a meeting with the NAACP in Hancock County. And so things are the right direction. But the truth is, guess what? This is going to be one of the dirtiest elections. And it's so powerful because we're for people. The history that I just told you, most children in Hancock, most people don't speak of. All we see is Confederate memorabilia around, statues standing around, no Black history at all. Black people are still whispering about, they still whispering about Judge Ingram. They're whispering about it like they're in slavery. So now we need your support. We need to support the Hebrew Israelite community. All proceeds that I get for the campaign is going to the campaign. I have to track it. I have to, every time I get a certain amount of donations, I have to write it down and I have to show what I spend it on. But we need your help. We need more signs. We need more commercials. We need the ability to set up meetings and meals with people and help out people, elders that need ramps on their door. So there's a lot of things that I also, I know y'all know my man Yashuv-EL that's on Facebook, the martial artist / comedian. He's also going to do a lot of training. Rape young children out here. We're going to start educating inside of the barber on Black history, teaching the power, the true and living, teach them about ancient history and ancient civilizations that were Black. We're going to put this in the people's mind that you may already know, but they don't know of. So we're going to bring this into the county. But this is divine by the Almighty because we came out here not trying to run. So now out of 1,000 people that's registered to vote or can vote, they picked us to run. So that's how much impact we had on the people. And Most High blessed us.
If I can say something real quick, brothers and sisters, for those of y'all that are just logging in, number one, please hit the like button. Number two, please hit the share button. And if y'all have any questions, put it in the chat and I'll ask Nasi at the end of the video. I want to come back to this demographic real quick because something Nasi said that kind of stuck with me. Let's take a look again at this demographic that we have right here. So Nasi is saying within the city of Sparta, Georgia, there's still Confederate memorabilia and there's still also Confederate statues. Yet, brothers and sisters, the city is almost 96% Black. So that shows you how backwards we as a people are. Furthermore, this is not a unique story. I'm going to go to the next tab I have on my screen. When you look at Ferguson, Ferguson is where our brother Mike Brown was killed. Well, brothers and sisters, in case you didn't know, Ferguson is almost 70% Black. But they didn't have a Black mayor or a Black police commissioner or anything else, which is appointed by the mayor. Really. You know what I'm saying? The school superintendent, et cetera, is appointed by the mayor. So in local politics, sometimes having somebody in there as mayor is extremely important. So I'm going to stop sharing. Brother Nasi, if you want to add on to that before I go on to the next question, go ahead.
No. Go on to the next question. I'm here.
All right, man. So now I want to say something really quickly to brothers and sisters before I go to the next question, right? So once again, let me share my screen one more time. Our brother Nasi Yashuv-EL is running for mayor of Sparta, Georgia. So let's go ahead and let's show the campaign. That's the campaign flyer right there. Okay, so I'm gonna stop sharing my screen. I want to say something to you, brothers and sisters, really quickly, right? Prior to me coming into the truth, I have kind of a little bit of a story that kind of resonates with me, which is why I'm enjoying this conversation, right? I'm from a city in New York called Mount Vernon, New York, which is right outside the Bronx, right? Mount Vernon is almost 75% black. And I remember coming up as a teenager, 14, 15, 16, 17, before I came into this knowledge of being an Israelite, there was a divide in the city. On the north side of Mount Vernon, you had the whites and the Italians. On the south side of Mount Vernon, you had the blacks. And the whites controlled the city council. The whites control the mayorship. The whites control the school superintendent and everything else that was in the city of a 75% black people. And therefore, the curriculum, the police department, and everything else was oppressing the people in the city. So I know a lot of Israelites, a lot of y'all might be a little standoffish on this. A lot of y'all might be a little iffy on this, but understand something. There's a difference between local politics in a small town and national politics like running for president. It's a big difference, but I'm not here to talk about that today. I'm here to question Brother Nasi about that. We got to stop. We got to really stop being so religious with this Israelite thing and kind of use some common sense and deal with what's before us. But that's a whole nother conversation. So moving on to the next question, Brother Nasi, I have to ask you, how did running for mayor come into existence? Like, what caused you to decide? What was the turning point to decide that you were going to actually run for mayor yourself? I know you kind of mentioned something before about asking another brother to run and he didn't want to run. So if you want to elaborate on that a little bit more, go ahead.
All right. So we had a meeting. They called us to a meeting when the elections came about, and we didn't even know the elections was coming up on us. So we made the meetings, and there was a bunch of implications, and they like, well, we need strong black men with level heads to run for office. So just not saying y'all or us, but we took it and we went back and me and my put our brains together and we said, hey, okay, they're trying to tell us to run. So we went to run for councilman, and then when we ran for councilman, we were called the first black probate judge, Judge Edith Ingram. And when we went to a house, there was a bunch of people there, and they asked us kindly, "Will one of you withdraw from councilman and run for mayor?" And me and like Prince Robert looked, and he's a traveling man. He travels a lot more than I do. So I was like, and that's how it came on the people access. The people access out of all these people, all the history in this town, the people came to us and asked us to run. And when they gave us a campaign committee, so we already had a campaign committee supporting us. They already thought that we was going to say yes. So it's really no choice. And so when we talk about, like you said, local politics, let me tell you something. This is history. It's going to be history. It's going to be the first Israelite man, probably the first Israelite councilman that I know, with Prince Rob, and we have another brother that's running for council, James Culver. And now you're talking about three people being put in office in one term. That is powerful. And that's going to be a draw for people to find this up. The city is we call our project Goshen. That's salvation for, and it's salvation for many brothers. We're building with a lot of brothers and trying to, and this is what the Most High was put before us. And I can honestly say I'm not worthy of it. But I thank the Most High for humbly putting me in position, and I ask that I can atone for all my sins and make sure that He is with me in this endeavor. And like I said, priest, we do need everybody's support. And like I said, my donations to the campaign, you can cash at me at hashtag Nasi Yashuv-EL. I'll put it down in the thing. But it would be helpful because guess what? We need lawyers. We're going in. This is going to be a mud fight. It's going to be war, but it's going to be history. And our foot is in the door. These places that have the most we haven't even heard of. And once the stories come out, we got documentaries coming out from these people. One of the most powerful things that you've seen. And we working our way. And priest can tell you, we come a long way, man. We sacrifice our lives and our names on the line to fight for the Creator. And he stood in there while I stepped away. He continued to battle and defend for the name of the Creator, which I just thought the reader. And the Almighty bless down the island, and also priests already spoke to priests within the other community that's go against Israel. We're going to do just certain platforms that we want to defend it on that are right creative. But at this term, if you can't even give, just share this video. Bring the awareness to what we're doing, because there's no attention, especially to the Goshen Project. And it's not like we want anybody to come down. We want only a elect few. But this community is growing every year. We only been here 2 years this year. A lot of accomplished in our city of Sparta, and the jobs we created for them. We see how much work and how we changed the downtown area of Sparta, and they're really ecstatic about and elated about supporting us as a people, and they don't care what we think we are, but they know that we are people of God, and they think that we're sent divinely, and we think so also, and we thank them.
Right, Kane. Brother Tony White, I'm not sure about your comment. You said that you think that they got control of the Goshen plantation too. So if you can put in the comment board, who is they that control the Goshen plantation? I'd like to hear about that. In the meantime, Brother Nasi, two quick questions for you. Number one, as mayor, if you were to be elected, what are some of the things that you're going to interact that you think are very important? Because there are very important reasons why you would run for mayor other than just being mayor. So what are some of the important things that you're going to implement, interact? Like if I could say real quick, some of the things that mayors control, and these may be some reasons why you're running, they can control city contracts. All right. So you can have a town of almost 90% black, 97% black like Sparta, and yet the majority of contracts can still go to white people if the white man is the mayor and everything else. So the mayor controls that. All right. Also, you have grants. Also, you have what are called empowerment zones. Also, you have the appointment of police commissioners, superintendents of schools, etc. All these things are controlled by the mayor and the city council. So if you are in a 97% black town and you're religious, and therefore you say that you can't vote in local politics, then you're going to have 3% white people that control the city, and you're going to have problems. All right. I learned that as a youth. So if you can just tell me, Nasi, did anything I mentioned or anything else prompt you to run for mayor? Are some of these things on your platform, or do you have other things that you wanted to add to that?
No, ask things, but then let me. I'm in a direction. First, one of the things is to make a day for the history of Sparta, John McCown Day. That's the guy that I spoke of. And John McCown Day is a day where we reflect on the black history in Sparta and where we came from, and also utilizing some of the dilapidated buildings that are destroyed them and actually purchased the land from the and once we purchase the land from the private owners, we have the ability to knock down these dilapidated buildings and incentivize nations to come in and invest their businesses coming in. So one thing about small towns, a lot of times they don't have places like Walmart or big hardware stores and stuff like that, like Lowe's or Home Depot. So most people that's in these small towns have to go out of town to purchase certain things. In a large supermarket, we got a small supermarket where prices are jacked up. Who go, they take their tax money outside of the town, which is called leakage. So when we have taxes, we don't put the taxes are not in the community; they go into the local cities around us. And so when this happens, we lose out on a lot. So one of the things we have to do is create an environment where we can incentivize other people, corporations to come in. And this is Donald Trump opportunity zone for Donald Trump had created a way for wealthy people to get out of paying taxes. So what they do is $120,000, they're going to tax you about $30,000. So if instead of taxing you $30,000, what you can do is they call you can create the LLC, and you can put your 30,000 into an investment in opportunity zones, which a place like Sparta is an opportunity zone where people can invest in small communities that need it. And then instead of losing your money after 10 years, you benefit to whatever you put in. So if you put in 30,000 a year, which will probably be 300 or probably close to 300,000 in 10 years, you actually will receive $3.1 million off of your investment. So now you're not losing money, you're investing. So one of the things we're going to do is utilize the money of these of people to bring in businesses from the outside and to entice corporations to invest in the local lands where they can make money, because we have a lot of trucks. So now one of the things, when we knock down the building, we can get a grant to build our own. Once we get our own trucking stop, we'll bring money into the city, and it'll free up a lot of things. So we got to get it out of a deficit. And one of my major fights is educating our people on the history of Sparta and letting them know who we are, what we are. So one of the things we are the Confederate monuments. That's not what we're going to do. We want to leave the Confederate monuments there so our people understand, hey, this is where we came from. This is what we're fighting against. But it's downtown because it's dilapidated. We're going to tear it down and we're going to make a park. We're going to make a memorial square for all our Black freedom fighters that are in the Hancock County and that were in Sparta. So now when people can come, they can interact with communications of plaques and statues and flat screens where you press a button and it tells you the history of the people over a large speaker. We're going to have waterfalls and let people come out there and meet and have meet and greets, wine and dines, painting the park, that culture. So now we will also allow the Hebrew Israelite community to bring in their cultural side with the drums and some parades and stuff to show a diversity of the community, back to heritage, and also communicate and reattach ourselves to the Native Americans that were in Sparta prior to the colonialism and the taking over of the European and slavery, so to speak. So this is some of the things that we're going to do, and putting people in the right, educating people in the school system, and it's a lot of work. But this is something that we're going to do. Creating jobs is something that we already did, so we're going to bring in more jobs. And the education of the people is the most powerful thing. Sparta is going to be the hub for Black awareness and education. You think Atlanta made noise? Sparta will be making noise soon because there's going to be a lot of people that want to come out there and invest because it's a lot of land to be purchased, and people you are a person that's going to be the head that is a conscious person or a person that was in the conscious community and held itself down, and people will be driven to that. So we got a lot of work to do, and I appreciate if Yisrael would show their support because this is the movement of the creator, and they already got the FBI out. We got drones flying over our house. It's getting a little ridiculous. It was going to be an ugly fight.
Right. So okay, we'll get back to the support part momentarily because that's the last question. Listen, brothers and sisters, if y'all have any questions for Nasi, put it in the chat. I'm going to ask Nasi the questions before he go. The brother's on limited time. Of course, if he's doing what he's doing, obviously he's on limited time. He's a busy brother. So the next question is, how's the campaign going so far? You told me earlier that you were out campaigning. So what's that like and how is that going? What's that experience like?
Man, I can't lie to you, King. It's like I was expecting things from our people because a lot of people voting for the other candidate. I'm not gonna lie. Some of our people are just trapped like that. But I was out there and I was waiting to see receive some of that resistance. But there was a lot of people that were just so excited. They were teary eyed, change, and it's not no Barack Obama change, like you said. Local candidates can do more than a person like running for presidency. This is stuff that affects you directly, So I'm going out there campaigning, and one of the things that the Sparta has is a Lafayette Festival, and the Lafayette Festival is when all the white people dress up like Confederates and they have parades around. They reenact
Wow.
like old times. Now, this is something that our people, and they ask our people not to come out to. They literally ask them not to come out to this. This is something that they want to do. So when I'm talking about the stuff that me and you, priests, always be talking about, what we be building in the streets. And I'm talking about Deuteronomy 28. I'm telling them about Deuteronomy 17:15. And I can put a farm and a rule over you. These people are hyped. They're excited. They're crying because they know there's something in their heart is telling them that God is behind this. No negative feedback right now, but I hear word through the grapevine, and I understand that there are investigations going out for us as a community and people that's running outsiders. Why do you believe in these people? Who are they? What are their intentions? You don't even know them. Why would you even consider to put they banner in front of your yard? So we get a lot of that through the grapevine. But as far as me talking, I'm talking to a bunch of freedom fighters. I'm talking to people that I've seen on videos, or people that are just retired out here, and I finally got to meet them, and people who just want somebody to talk to. So tomorrow they are running errands for a lot of the elders around here, and I'm going to do that once a month because that's my job as a servant of Yah. And it's just beautiful, man. It's just beautiful. And then sometimes, you know, as a servant, you got to give them something. You know what I mean? Because you campaigning and they out here giving the black people to vote some beer and weed and some chicken. You know, and Popeye's got that banging chicken sandwich, so you know we got a lot to compete against probably now. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
But
indeed,
no,
indeed,
but
indeed.
real talk, that's how they beer and weed. And you know, so when I go to my elders, I go to my, I break bread with them, but I let them know don't sell out. You know, so
All right. So now, Nasi, here comes the hard question, and it's a two-part question, right? And I know you expect it, right? Before we get to the support question, because somebody
yeah.
asked how they can support you, so that's the most important question. That's where we're going to end it. If anybody else has any questions, please put it in the chat, right? But two-pronged question. Number one, whether we as Israelites want to acknowledge it or not, we are under an umbrella, all of us, no matter Old Testament, New Testament, you claim Israel under umbrella. For the most part, our community is trying to be lumped in by the FBI, the CIA with so-called black identity extremists. Have you experienced any of that? And are you worried about the fact that you're an Israelite being something that affects what you are doing down there? I'll ask you that first, and I'll ask the follow-up right after. Go ahead.
All right. Uh, at first I considered it, you know, would it affect the campaign? But in reality, this is God's work, and there's no way that I can do the work of the Creator and being who I am. At came on trial, how I dressed any other place, just how I dressed when I thought about buying a suit and tie and putting it on, and I'm like the people that support putting on the persona for you. I'm not putting on a Latin mask. I'm going to be
You
who
would
I
have did
am,
that, bro.
and that's who
If
I'm
you'd
going to
have
be.
did that, you now see if you'd have did that with a
Yeah,
suit and tie, I'd have had some memes for you. Go ahead, brother. I'd have had some memes for you.
yeah. Uh, uh, but you know, I consider it because sometimes when you got to lure in what you in reality, I couldn't see myself doing anything. I started to think about, hey, take down your YouTube or everything. Take down. I'm like, no, you're not. The white man uses so much that this is one time that if they try to, you blow them away with it. And I'm gonna let them know that this people so many years to make us embarrassed of who we are. And this time I'm running on who I am and about who I am. I'm a Hebrew Israelite. I'm a child of Yah, and I serve the true and living Creator, the Father of the Bible. And that's when anybody got a problem with it, so be it. If it's not God's will for me to be in that position because I stated I'm a Hebrew Israelite, then let Him make that decision.
All right. And my follow-up to that question is this. Of course, you know what that is, and that is, have you received any resistance so far from the Israelite community? Because I'm almost certain after this video starts gaining some traction and people start hearing about what you're doing, then all the conspiracy theories is going to come. You know, you sold out, you're a Mason, you're running for government, you're trying to be a part of the system. You name it. You know how Israel do. I don't have to tell you how Israel do because you know how Israel do. You've been in this community longer than me because you're older than me. I've been in Israel 27 years only. You've been in Israel since birth because your father is, you know what I'm saying, a Morey a prince in this community. So you can expect the backlash. So I would start by saying, how has your community, like, you know, your father's school, Shema Yisrael, your congregation, and just in general, what is the backlash? What is the feedback been, and what do you say to people who are going to say negative things about you doing this?
Well, I already heard it. I'm an Israelite. We can't vote. I want to know where that's at in the scripture. The truth is, we didn't vote because we put foreigners over us, right? And then we're in a foreign system. Hey, let me ask you a question. If I'm a businessman, right, and I'm receiving the community or a government, and I'm trying to build, and every time I try to build, they knock me down, and I have a chance to be in charge in the city that I'm building, then I can take that. If I can't take that, then that's pure ignorance. Because in truth, there's different aspects. You got Moses, he rebelled, he left the system. You had Joseph, he worked the manual. He worked the system. There's different aspects of liberation in the Hebrew Israelite community, and there's different patterns that you can follow. So when you think that either you just buck, the system is the only option for you, right? But at the same time, there's no better way to buck. And so that's the thing. So right now I'm in the first week of my qualifying. After qualifying for mayor, I kept it low key. I believe I knew this. I kept it low long enough so I don't before I qualify. Now that I qualify, I'm speaking about it. So the resistance right now, but it is there, but it's not strong right now. And this video, there will be haters. Absolutely, I'm not a Mason at all. I never will be a Mason, not to my knowledge at all. But the truth is, the Most High is my King. In my lodge. So anybody that want to think that this is something that is not your opinion, and I respect your opinion. Keep going. Your God is putting your heart to do, and I will continue to do what the Almighty has put in my heart to do. And if I find something wrong with what I'm doing, then I would completely remove myself. But as far as what I'm doing right now, I feel that it's something that the Creator put me into because I'm only in this city 2 years, and already I was qualified to be and I'm nominated to be a mayor of the city. And I praise Yah for that. And I thank him for all the works that he allowed me to do. And like I said again, I'm going to say it again. And I want you all to realize that I am not worthy of this. I am not worthy of this. I am a sinner. I am a repenter. I am somebody that to God in total humility, and I ask him for pardon of all transgressions. And this is what all our prophets spoke. They wasn't worthy of it. They asked him to purge their lips with coals, and I asked the Almighty, because every day I struggle, and every day I fight for his name, that he stays with me in this and allows the people to see that we can make direct change, and then that God is going to rise up his people. Get dry bones is waking up immediately.
Right. And again, I just want to say for those of you that just came in, first of all, as always, hit the like button, of course, hit the share button, of course. Y'all can feel free to donate, of course, and show love to Maccabees TV. And also, as I said earlier, for those of y'all that just tuned in, if the city is almost 97% black and you elect a white mayor and a white city council, all those buildings that Nasi said that he was going to tear down that are dilapidated and build parks, et cetera, who do you think is going to get those contracts if there's a white mayor? You think they're going to give them to black businesses, black construction firms, et cetera? The answer is no. So sometimes we as Israelites got to leave religion and deal with reality. And sometimes reality is sometimes in local politics, you do need to have one of us in office if we're going to get things done, if we're going to bring jobs in the community, et cetera. We're here. We don't know how long we're going to be here. We don't know how long the system and this kingdom is going to continue. So we got to make the best of a bad situation. I just want to say that because I already know the backlash is coming. Because I know how y'all Israelites do. With that being said, we're gonna keep it on a positive note. We ain't gonna delve into that. So you spoke about it a little before, but now I want you to speak about it again a little bit more in depth. And I'm gonna put it in the okay, Troy Ellis had a question. So let's just deal with that before we get to the whole support thing. And I understood what you said, but I want you to explain it. It's my brother, Yashar. He's a good brother. So don't take the question no way, Nasi. I don't know if you can see it. The brother said, no disrespect, Nasi, but you mentioned that another brother, which is Nasi Rav, was a traveling man and that he travels more than you. Can you explain? Which I understand. I understood exactly what you meant because I know what goes on with the brother. But just elaborate on that because that term traveling man does refer to Freemasonry. So explain what you meant by that because, like I said, Israel be on. You know, you know how it is. So go ahead, bro.
No. That statement, I guess, is my fault. You know what I mean? But I mean, he's not always there. The man kind of needs to be a local. So he's mainly in Sparta. He's mainly in Sparta, but he travels back to New York and he's in and out back to Africa. So that's what I meant by traveling, man. All due respect, I don't mind your statement.
Yeah, it's better that y'all ask because I know we know how Israel is, and he's on the chat. He's not gonna be on here long, family. I'm not sure how much more time he has. So y'all, if y'all have more questions, ask it. Don't be ashamed. Don't be scared. Ask the brother. The brother says y'all can ask whatever y'all want to ask. And if you don't ask now, forever hold your peace. That's it. He's moving on and doing what he got to do. In the meantime, before I don't see any other questions on here. Other than that, oh, wait, I do see one. Shalom, this is from Deprogrammed Enlightener, another good brother. Shalom, Aknasi Yashuv-EL. Can I ask, is that linked to Murs, King, Murrs. I don't know. Do you understand the question?
No, I actually my comments are frozen. So if you can repeat the question.
Yeah, um he asked, okay, one second. He asked, is that linked to MERS? Murs. I don't know what Murs. Oh, or Moors. I'm not sure. Deprogram the lightner. I apologize. I'm not really sure of your question. Um, so holy saints and apostles, that's some good brothers right there. They asked you to speak briefly more about your qualifications to run for mayor. You mentioned that you qualified only after 2 years. So, okay, I see what the deprogrammed lightner is asking, but let's get to that. Let's get to this question first. He said you mentioned you qualified after 2 years, so he wants you to speak a little bit more about what qualifies you to run for mayor of Sparta. So, if you want to just hit that again real quick, because he may have come in a little late.
Check everything to make sure that you're able to run for mayor. Some states, some cities, you have to receive at least 1,000 votes. But this city's so small, you don't have to. You just have to be. There's a few other qualifications, but as far as qualifications, I've been a leader of say, a tribe of Israel, a portion of Israel for a long term, so I know how to deal with people. A lot of economic advisors with me, and this is why I'm a part of the Goshen project, which did not receive funds from any outside source. We did it all within house, and we already have changed the city. As you see, we bought 3 major buildings downtown. We bought a plantation home and a transitional home within the city of Sparta, and we bought 140 acres in Devereaux outskirts of Sparta. We put 3 houses. We put 3 houses out there. We have a temple out there, and we also have we've been busy. And the Hebrew Israelite community hasn't even been aware of this, so to speak. We kept it low key because we don't want no negativity about it, or negative commotion. But we have been, and I have to say it's because of brothers like Priest, all the other brothers that stay by me to actually step away for a second. If they didn't step, if they Israel hanging, then I'd probably be sitting there fighting and fighting in circles for the name of the Most High. But I appreciate the brothers. Even when I didn't agree, they were still holding down. They had to, and I stand on this in Priest for allowing me to, because we were actually real close at one point, and I say one point because I'm not going to sugarcoat it, that we kind of gained a little distance, not a lack of love, but we went our separate ways. And I think that the Almighty full circle to do even a job for each other and work together as a team, because I remember team, and it was so it was such a beautiful time, loving the unity. They were loving a lot that we doing, and Priest TV still carried on a lot of the unity and held it down. So praise the Almighty.
Right, right. Yeah, we keep it real over on this side. Like Nasi said, if I could just speak on it real quick, I'll get to the next question because I know he probably got to go soon. Yeah, we had a little, what I'm saying, because a lot of y'all were asking me what happened to Nasi and Zion and other brothers that was on the platform. And Nasi and we didn't have, I wouldn't call it a falling out, but like many of you, he was mad that I was still dealing with Sonetta to a degree, and he felt like I shouldn't, and I should build a platform that y'all are on. And I was kind of, doing a little bit of both. And we had some disagreements, but we still brothers, as y'all can see. I got his back. Whatever he needs, just got to pick up the phone and let me know what he needs, and he's here. And we're going to support the brother. So getting back to what the brother was asking, your name is Nasi Yashuv. Then you have the hyphen and the L. So I think he was asking you if that L refers to being a Moor or not, which I know. But let me let you speak on that. I guess he's asking you about your name. So you want to address that real quick so we can move on?
All right. So there's I have a email called Hebrew Moor, and it wasn't because of the noble Drew Ali Moors. All right, it was because of Rambam, the the Moors in Spain, the Hebrews that were in Spain. So this is the only reason why my Hebrew Moor, because there's a Rambam at that time. and I still hold on to a lot of it, but not all of it, right? So when L was given to Moors as a favor or a statement of gratitude to the Moors based off the Rabbi Ford. So Noble Drew Ali was a close friend or a possible student of Rabbi Ford. So when they had the Bay name, they also to brothers and sisters based off of those who are of the Israelites, because Israelites also started out. A lot of Israelites started out as Hebrew Moors. So they was the Hebrew Moorish community. So those followers of and for the sake of Israel and the gratitude to Rabbi Ford, they allow El to be a surname, which just represents God. So it's not because neither that is how we say that is the short form of God or Elohim in Hebrew. So Nasi Yashuv-El. Yashuv means return. El means God.
All praises, all praises. Nasi, let me know. I want you to let me know when I'm working with 5 minutes left before you got to go. All right. And I'm just going to keep asking you the questions as they come in. And this is one I skipped, and I think it's probably something I should have probably asked a little bit earlier. Pick a side or else, which is also the brother Zahab that's in my camp. He asked the question. He asked, how will you navigate the Democrat Republican Party nonsense? He said all mayors must come in contact some way. So I should ask you, are you running as a Democrat, Republican, Independent, or how are you registered at the moment? I'm surprised I missed that question.
Good. I'm registered as a nonpartisan. So my campaign support is Democrat, but I'm registered as nonpartisan.
Okay, cool. All right, no problem. So did you have to like get signatures to get on the ballot, being that you don't subscribe to either party, or you just had to fulfill whatever the requirements that you said were before? Okay, cool. No problem. All right.
I just had to fill the requirements, and I had
Okay. Augustus Kane is asking, will there ever be another Cameron on trial debate? I don't think with Nasi. I'll tell you like this: if he's doing what he's doing, especially if he wins, I doubt it, because that would kind of like that's kind of regressing back to the vomit. Like he'd be on a different level. So I wouldn't expect him, even if there was for him to participate. You know, myself and the general, we'll have to wallow in the mud. He probably can give us some daggers on the, on the low. Well, I'll wallow in the mud all day. I don't have a problem with that. Somebody asks, is they're still having the chicken strut? I don't know what that is. Yeah.
war. Oh, we gonna go to war.
Okay, I'm ready.
Loading up. I'm already loading up daggers. I think our platform just represent more of an educated forum. The way we did things last time, the way things were conducted, it can't be like that more. So we have to have something where people can look from the outside and say, this is real, this is some real well done, put together stuff. And if that's the case and that's the platform, then all mayors and all political activists can also take share in fighting for something that's right. And that's the name of God. So whatever it is, as long as we do it smooth, I'm down for it. We take on Armor Ron Squad, whatever. But my thing is, I'm with my brother. I'm with my brother Nasi, and we've been working on. We definitely been putting it out there that if brothers want to do something, and this is something that about Priest Daniela. Whoever want to debate, we can pay for it. We'll purchase the plays. We'll pay for the debate on our own platform. The money is there. So anybody that want to debate and want to do something big, we'll set up the big platform. We'll get people involved, and as long as we can make some money back off of it, we in it. And we're not talking about no small investment. We have investors now.
All praises, all praises. So any of you haters of God that want to get retired, like Seti got retired by Nasi, hit me up, man. We'll set it up for you real good. Listen, family. Now we come to the most important.
Priest Daniela.
Yes, sir. Yes, yeah, yeah, that's right. That's right. You already know. You already know. Listen, family, we're at the most important part of the show right now because I'm not really I appreciate everybody that's asking people to hit the like button. Please do on your way in. Brothers and sisters, the most important question, I see some of you brothers and sisters are already ahead of me in my questioning. You're asking me how you could support Nasi, being that a lot of you don't live in Sparta, Georgia. So you Israelites, y'all are thinking, your minds are open. That's beautiful that you guys beat us to the question. That means that you brothers and sisters are in tune with what's going on. So Nasi said something before. What I'm going to do is, as he's letting me know what how you guys can hit him up, I'm going to put it in the chat. So I know you have a Cash App. Let's start with that, Nasi. Nasi, what's your Cash App?
All right, it's hashtag capital N A S I capital Y A S H U V capital E L. So it's capital N A S I capital Y A S U V capital E L.
All right, so that's the Cash App family.
And if
That's
it's
in
for
the
the,
chat. Mhm. All right.
if it's for the
And
campaign, put for the campaign. So
I'll make sure y'all put in the comment that you're doing it for the campaign, because I'm sure he has to log all that information. Any donations to a campaign, if I'm not mistaken, he has to take account for that. He has to show those people the transactions. So make sure y'all put that in there, that that's what that's for. What other ways can they donate to you, Nasi?
well, also if you have PayPal, right, you can give to Atara Elazar, and I spell that ATARAH __ ELEAZAR at G
All right.
at G, no at yahoo.com at yahoo.com.
All right, so that's another way that you brothers and
So
sisters can support what he's doing. Thank you, Global Media, for reposting that in the chat as well. Those are two of the ways that you can reach out. If there's more, Nasi, I'll put it in, or those are the main two ways.
all right, and also I want y'all to do this. I want y'all to look at that John McCown video and post it on YouTube and put my name on it and let people know I'm running for the city of Marion. Video as much as you can to let people know we're running for the city of for mayor of the city, and we're going to also do. We're going to ask for people to come out if they can. November 5th is the election. I want as many Israelites to come out as they can. We have a lot of Israelites coming out here during that time. But around that time, if you come 2 days before the election and we post up, you can hit me on Facebook, Please Daniela, about coming out here, give you my information, my personal information, whatever is needed. But we need to make a stand, and we need to show the power of it.
I appreciate it, Brother Nasi, and I'm not seeing any other questions. So, brothers and sisters, this is the last chance before I let Brother Nasi go. If you brothers and sisters have anything else you want to ask him, any other questions, concerns, if it's about this election, if it's about just in general. Also, brothers and sisters, make sure that you brothers and sisters subscribe to Nasi's channel. It's called the Spiritual Development Channel. That's where you can find him. I know a lot of you brothers and sisters were looking for where you can find Nasi. His channel is called Spiritual Development. Okay. Brother Global Media said that he hit you off with $5 towards your campaign. So thanks a lot. That's Basim. Thanks a lot for that. That's beautiful. You know, every little bit helps. If you brothers and sisters can help the brother out, help the brother out. I support what he's doing because I come from a small town as well, and I understand the difference between local and national politics. National politics that most Israelites speak against, I understand that. I understand why, 100%. But sometimes local politics, especially small towns of very small populations under 10,000, it makes a huge difference, man. We saw that in Ferguson. We saw that.
And it's your brother. And it's your brother. Yeah, and it's your brother. You can't deny that. If it was a foreigner, that's cool, but it's your brother.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. So with that being said, Somebody's asking, will you ever debate Jabari Osaze if he has a chance? Well, he mentioned to you that he's getting ready to go to war, but I think he has to get past this what he's doing right now before any debates will. I know, Augustus, you just want to see them guys. I know you want to see. I always see you in the chat over there on Sonada's channel. So I know you definitely want to see the Israelites come through. You know what I'm saying? Guns are blazing. You know, intellectual guns are blazing. I know that, and the time is coming for that, man. But by the way, brothers and sisters, thank you, Basim, for that. Basim is on it tonight, man. Don't forget that brother Nasi, speaking of Ferguson that I just spoke about, Nasi went to Ferguson, and the conscious community did not want to go with him. Let's not forget that. Let's not forget those that say that they love black people were not willing to go with Nasi to Ferguson. I remember that. After all the bickering and the fighting, he asked brothers to go with him, and they wasn't willing to go. So that's a good one, Basim. I forgot all about that. That's a good one. Anything you want to say, Nasi, before we end the show?
We can do another show possibly next week. With the questions that maybe the brother was asking about would I ever debate something. If there's something that Israelites want me to respond to or in the Kemetic community, just give me a list of maybe five things to respond to, and I'll do it on Maccabee TV.
All praises, all praises. All right, man. Well, Nasi, I appreciate you coming to Maccabees TV. It's been a minute. I'm glad to have you back. I'm looking forward to seeing more of your content on the channel, whether you and I go live. If you have anything that you just want me to post on, you know, teaching, edifying, whatever it is, you already know. Just call me up. Hey, Dan, just load that video for me. It's up there, not a problem. We appreciate all your efforts. And this goes to show you, I want to end off with saying this, brothers and sisters, you hear it bandied about the community. What are Israelites doing? Israelites are doing a lot of different things across the spectrum. And a lot of times we're not looking for the cameras or the spotlight to do it, because that usually hinders it. When you go back and you read in the scriptures, the temple was hindered for 3 years because when we were building the temple, the other nations, they kept hindering us for 3 years. So sometimes you don't want to do things on the where people can see it on a mass scale. You kind of want to do it behind the scenes. And then when it's established, that's when you come forward with it so that you're not hindered. And that's what the brother's been doing. So don't think just because you haven't seen him that he ain't working. My brother's working. Thank you, Nasi, for coming through. Shout out to Goshen. Shout out to Shamre HaTorah. Love you too, King. Most High continue to bless you in all your endeavors. And the family appreciates everything that you're doing, man. So with that, I say shalom, King.
Hallelujah.
Hallelujah. All praises. Thank you, brothers and sisters, for tuning in to Maccabees TV once again. A lot of y'all, if you haven't already, hit the like button or the share button. Make sure y'all share this video, like the video, and show some support to Israelite media, because we're all we have. The conscious community don't give a damn about y'all. Every chance they get, they do videos day in and day out against you. They don't give a damn about you. This is the closest thing that you brothers and sisters have to Sonada TV, because I interview everybody over here. I don't keep this channel for myself. I interview everybody over here. So please support me. Y'all can hit that Cash App, show me some love, hit the super chat, show me some love. I'm not going to beg you. I'm going to do this because this is a labor of love regardless. So with that being said, this is your brother, Priest Daniel Alliance of Israel, Maccabees Alliance Council. I'm out here. Look out for my new music video coming soon. And by the way, the Truth Music Concert is this upcoming Sunday, Richard Rogers Park in Harlem, New York, starting at 12 o'clock, Richard Rogers Park, Harlem, New York, the Truth Music Concert coming up this Sunday. Look out for my new music video coming out next month. It's going to be lit. Love y'all. Appreciate y'all. This is your brother, Priest Daniela, and I am out of here. I say shalom to y'all.
Set up on my darkness, chosen. Set up on my darkness, born in His image, chosen. They say
say the chain of Shaitan is not that strong. They say his time is running out, he ain't got that long. They say murder, murder, kill, this is not that song. Said I won't amount to nothing, they got that wrong. Cause I was set apart and I was shown the light. And if I get the kingdom, I'll be clothed in white. 1/3 will be delivered and the rest were blinded. And fate is set in stone, but you ain't read the fine print. Christ is gonna give a crown to us. In the end, we'll have the nations bowing down to us, with their faces to the ground to us. It's the truth, as crazy as it sounds to us. Jacob forever rules and bring his precious jewels. Show us love and patience, put us above the nations. And that's the gospel. Thank God for choosing me. Bad news for you, it's really good news for me.
I was set apart for
Chosen.
I was set apart for God. For
Let me tell you why. We have a different kind of shine, a different kind of mind. The rhythm's not the same, we're on a different type of time. With a different kind of pace, a different kind of race. The season's not the same, we have a different kind of taste. A different kind of sport, we are so not them. Got my sword and my shield, man, I'm so locked in. And when I came to serve Yahweh, I put my whole heart in. So I can't sit calm, I'm no Martin. And that's a reach, y'all, chosen to teach y'all. Every Sabbath you can find us in the streets, y'all. Daniel Allah, my nickname is Priest, y'all. In the gym, they say that I'm a beast, y'all. Set apart, the nations all hate me. Set a trap, they lying in wait for me.